On July 16th, Mercury high-fives the Sun. This signature at the end of Cancer is keyed to themes of luxury and excess. Stocking your pantry and freezer and canning. I heard about a saying in French a long time ago, and I may be wrong about this, and if I'm butchering it, let me know. I don't know how to say it in French, but in English it translates to something like wanting the butter and the money for the better, like wanting the luxurious sustenance and also not wanting to forfeit resources in exchange for it. And the end of Cancer is not necessarily stingy. It will gladly forfeit other resources in exchange for sustenance and luxuries. But with this conjunction of Mercury and the Sun, CAZIMI, the exterior conjunction, when Mercury is exactly conjunct the Sun, suggests some sort of epiphany, and especially when Mercury is direct, that can be a better experience. So it might be that you have an epiphany about how you can have it all, perhaps, regarding whatever house in your chart coincides with the sign of Cancer. And the exterior conjunction is also epiphanies gained during the exterior conjunction usually have something to do with things far in the future. They could also be very spiritual, insights of potentially great value, or excessive abundance. It also has like kind of an electric quality to this CAZIMI. So if it's the sign of Cancer and we think of like creature comforts, and this might be more of a Taurus thing, but Danish concept of hygge, which is like coziness in the winter, like this summertime, the sign of Cancer, the Sun, contacting Mercury. It's more electric, and that makes you think of another Danish concept of gezellig, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, so if you know how to pronounce it, you may phonetically spell it in the comments. But gezellig is more fun and lighthearted, whereas sitting by a fire, eating baked goods with a comfy blanket and candlelight is hygge. A outdoor picnic in the summertime with pink lemonade and all your friends is more gezellig. So this contact sounds pretty fun not in an indulgent way, but maybe that. It sounds fun in a way that feels very satisfying and comforting, but in like a summertime way. On July 17th, Venus enters Cancer. With Venus in Cancer, I always think of opulence. It's another, if Cancer is creature comforts, Venus brings the comfort. Something to savor whilst Mars is in Taurus, being not comfortable, wanting to get a lot done, and feeling frustrated. Venus in Cancer wants to be around those they care about, like who they really care about. It's a very sweet configuration for Venus. Maybe the sweetest because it cares so much. Venus is exalted in the water sign of Pisces, and it's almost like it's exalted because it gives less fucks. But the sweetness of Venus in Cancer is because it cares. So during Venus's transit of Cancer, we can step into and enjoy what and who we really care about. Or we can explore and find out what and who we really care about. We may have been exploring that already with the Sun and Mercury, introducing us to the sign of Cancer this year. we may have already done that with the Sun and Mercury going into the sign of Cancer first. Again, going back to Danish themes of comfort and enjoyment, I think of something like with Venus in Cancer, the Danish apparently do a thing called a pantry party, where everybody makes like a canned good, like jam or pickles or something like that, or like ginger shrub or beer, and everybody brings jars and everybody has a party and they all exchange food and they take it, and everybody like gets to take home a jar of like a bunch of different jars of different things. Also on July 17th, Mercury trines Neptune, which it's Mercury in Cancer, so just think of like magnetic poetry, being really good at the magnetic poetry on the fridge in the kitchen, revealing profound spiritual revelations through the magnetic poetry on your fridge. Also, it could be a good time to like experience like a sappy movie, like a feel-good film of the summer, or a tearjerker. And also it's a very good way to activate and make use of imagination. Mercury and Neptune don't do well together because Mercury likes to connect the dots and Neptune likes to say there are no dots. The dots don't exist, they're a figment of your imagination. But when you combine the two, you get a pretty potent potential for deep imaginings. Last year I learned that there's a concept amongst writers called pantsing. I believe it's called pantsing, where you just write per your imagination. You just sit down, you don't have a plan. And it's like stream of consciousness writing, except you're writing fiction. July 17th, a good day to have a pantry party and do some pantsing. And also, since the Sun and Mercury are so close together, the Sun trines Neptune on this day as well, hosting more potential for spiritual revelations, contemplating the difference and similarities between waking alert consciousness and trance. There's something in the book Where Are You Going by Swami Muktananda, where he says that meditation belongs to everyone. It doesn't belong to any religion or spiritual tradition. It belongs to everyone in the way that sleep belongs to everyone, and that in nature, every animal is in meditation. On July 18th, Mercury opposes Pluto. This is less zealous than the CAZIMI. It might ping things that came up during the full moon on July 13th. Mercury contacting Pluto, especially with an opposition or like any hard aspect, makes me think of whistleblowing. It's like Mercury from the safety of a lush estate pointing out the problems with how the structure of society has been handled up to this point. Also, I feel like if it's Mercury residing in Cancer, in the place where, the end of Cancer, where all needs, that's a place that talks about like luxury, like your needs being so fully met that you can share with others in post. Or the opposite, not having enough because someone else is hoarding maybe. It's Mercury in Cancer in the home, addressing Pluto in Capricorn, at the seat of power, at the big desk. It brings to mind themes of working from home, with companies saying you have to come into the office, and people saying that's bullshit. So with Mercury connecting Pluto. So it's a very like professional versus the domestic. form of calling out. Mercury contacting Pluto is also pertains to propaganda, so perhaps there's a communication that's designed to control one's thinking or the thinking of a particular segment of the population. And then since it's opposition, perhaps the nature of that communication is pointed out publicly. Also, sometimes somebody tells me a story and I get obsessed with it for days. And this is very fertile, rocky, mountaintop ground for that to happen. For you to just suddenly fall down the rabbit hole into the depths of some haunted, magical dwarf mines deep within the mountain. On July 19th, Mercury enters Leo. Our engagement with skill, what we're thinking and talking about, from what's really important to us and what we care about in domestic matters and caretaking matters. We can turn them to large-scale, high-level, organizational thinking. If it's Mercury ruled by the Sun, what is the Sun? It has, it coordinates the movements of everything, and it gives life to everything. So thinking about matters of grand coordination. Also public speaking. Mercury in Leo, we can think about our fandom and our haters. And after addressing, like getting this look at the deep, old, crumbling power structures, a move into Leo can feel refreshing in terms of like addressing your own sovereignty, addressing and making plans for your own sovereignty. Mercury in Leo could also result in confidence that is agnostic of reality. It's not necessarily, it's just confidence. Mercury in Leo, especially when the Sun enters Leo. So it doesn't mean it's not real, but it also means that the confidence can be there, and the right conditions to genuinely merit confidence can be there or not. In England, in London, in Trafalgar, there's a place where people actually stood on a soapbox and made proclamations. Mercury and Leo can look at that. I have something to say. Also, the more that you know yourself with Mercury and Leo, the better you can understand the plans you're making, the proclamations you're committing to. Mercury and Leo is like a good transit for knowing myself. After that, the Sun opposes Pluto. After you've uncovered whatever subterranean nitty-gritty truths through the Mercury-Pluto opposition. And then Mercury moves into Leo, concerned with how we structure our sense of self and how that relates to delivery and messaging and communication. The Sun opposes Pluto, so we can stand in the reality of ourselves, although it might be against the great hulking structures of tradition. We can understand the nature of our own power struggles much better, potentially. If you're feeling too assertive during this time, like overly assertive in a way that you do have confidence, but it isn't necessarily founded in reality. You'll probably lose the fight or the struggle. Going through the cathartic, heavy metal process of standing up for yourself, or standing in your own reality, being the center of your own solar system, even though the powers that be might want to swoop in and carry you down to the underworld. You might need to go there for a while, experience tribulation. The shaman can heal others because the shaman has healed themselves. Going through ordeal helps us to help others experience ordeals. So learning about maybe something that you've been avoiding and it's unpleasant, really facing it can be helpful at this time. Really facing it might be what either you're compelled to do or you're forced to do at this time. And we're moving into a time that's going to be difficult for some humans. And Mars is still in Taurus, so all doing, striking out, actively seeking to change the situation feels frustrating. On July 20th, we have the third quarter moon. The sun moves into Leo, and both Mercury and Venus contact Jupiter.